നോക്കട്ടെ. ഇനി വേറെന്തോ ചെയ്യാനുണ്ട്. ഇനി എന്താ ചെയ്യാനുള്ളത്? ലൈവ് പോണ്ടല്ല. എവിടെ പോർട്രേറ്റ് അറിയില്ലല്ലോ. എന്തോ പിടിച്ചാൽ മിക്കി വന്നു. ഇനി അതന്നെ അതന്നെ അതാ അല്ല ഇതെങ്ങനെ ഹൊറിസോണ്ടൽ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് ആദ്യം യൂട്യൂബ് വീഡിയോ വെച്ചിരിക്കണേ എനിക്ക്. എന്നിട്ട് ലൈവ് ക്യാമറ ഇൻസ്റ്റാളേഷൻ ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നോക്കി സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോൾ നോക്കി ഇത് റെക്കോർഡാ എന്നിട്ടെല്ലാം അങ്ങനെ കയറി കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് റിം വേണം. ആ ഓക്കെ. കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം നമ്മൾ സംസാരിച്ചൊക്കെ കിട്ടിയില്ല ലൈവ് അടിച്ചു. ഇത് ലോക്കിനായില്ലേ? ഏയ് മിസ്സിന്റെ മുഖല്ലേ കാട്ടുന്നത്. ലാഗ് ഉണ്ടാവും, അതുണ്ടാവും. ആ ലൈവ് ഉണ്ടാവും. എന്ത് ആദ്യം ഇത് സെറ്റായിട്ടില്ല. ഒന്ന് പറക്കണ്ടില്ലേ? നടിക്കാക്കും ചാർജിലെണ്ണോ മിന്നറുണ്ട്. പറ്റും പക്ഷെ ഇല്ല, കാണാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ഇതില്ല, ചാർജില്ല. ചാർജിലെണ്ണോ അല്ലാണ്ട് പിന്നെ എന്തിനു മിന്നണേ? അത് നോക്കണ്ട. ഒന്ന് ഓഫ് ആക്കിയാണെങ്കിൽ സൗണ്ട് കേൾക്കും. മൈക്കിൽ വരുമ്പോ സൈഡിലെ ചാർജ് പറ. എന്തേ ഞാൻ കോൺഫറൻസ് കൊടുത്തു. സൈഡിലെ ചാർജ് എവിടെ ചാർജ് ഞാൻ ഭക്ഷണം അയച്ചിട്ടില്ല. ഇനി ഇതെങ്ങനെയാ നിൽക്കുന്നത്? തൊട്ട് സാധനം സെറ്റാക്കണ്ട, സെറ്റാക്കി തരാം. അങ്ങനെ താങ്കൾ ഇന്ന് യൂട്യൂബിലേ ഇതെങ്ങനെ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കാൻ പഠിക്കേണ്ടി വരും. ബാക്കിത്തെ സ്വിച്ച് എന്താ? അത് ബ്ലൂടൂത്ത് ഫോട്ടോ അടിക്കാൻ. ലൈറ്റൊക്കെ ഓഫ് ഉണ്ടല്ലോ. അതന്നെ ലൈറ്റ് ഓഫ് ഉണ്ട്. അതുപോലും തിരിയണില്ല ഇപ്പൊ. കണ്ടുണ്ട് തിരിയുണ്ട്. അത് അതങ്ങനെ തിരിക്കല്ലേ. അപ്പൊ ഇത് ഓഫായി. എല്ലാവർക്കും ഓഫായി. എനിക്കറിയില്ല. എനിക്ക് പിടിച്ചെന്ന് സംഭവിക്കും. അത് ക്യാമറ ഷട്ടർ ഇതല്ലേ? ഷട്ടർ അത് സൂം ഇൻ സൂം ഔട്ട്. പക്ഷെ കണക്ട് ചെയ്യണം. അത് ഇതിലുണ്ട്. നിനക്ക് വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും കേടുണ്ടോ? അത് പറയണതൊക്കെ കേൾക്കും. ഇല്ല, അത് ട്രിം ചെയ്യാൻ ഇതൊക്കെ നോക്കി അത് അമക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ? ഈ ഗിംബലില്ലല്ലോ വീഡിയോയില്. സെറ്റായി, പക്ഷെ എനിക്കതിനെ തിരിക്കാൻ തിരിയണില്ല. തിരിയണ്ട ഇതിൻ്റെ സെറ്റപ്പ് എനിക്ക് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുത്തുന്നില്ലേ? ഇനി ചാർജൊക്കെ വേണ്ടേ? ചാർജ് ഇല്ലാന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. എന്താ ബ്ലൂടൂത്ത് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമെങ്കിൽ അത് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ കുറച്ച് നന്നായനെ. ബ്ലൂടൂത്ത് നടക്കുമോ? നടത്തും. വീഡിയോയിലെന്നുള്ള സാധനം കണക്ട് ആവണേ. ആവോ, അതിനി എങ്ങനെയാന്ന് ചോദിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇത് വന്നിട്ട് സംഭവം അത് ചോദിച്ചത് അത് വെക്ക സ്റ്റാൻഡ്. പക്ഷെ അത് ഇതായിട്ടില്ല, സെറ്റ് ശരിയല്ല. ഷൂട്ട് അയച്ച എന്താ ബ്ലൂടൂത്ത് പിള്ളേർക്ക് ലൈവ് കണ്ടിട്ട് പോകുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇങ്ങനെ പിടിച്ചെടുത്തോ? അങ്ങനെ പിടിച്ചെടുത്താലോ? ആ ഇങ്ങനെ പിടിച്ച ഒരാളുണ്ടാ പോലെ ഏത് പിടിച്ചിരുന്നു? പോയടാ കൈ കുറച്ച് കഴിയുമ്പോഴേ നല്ല രസം ഉണ്ടാവും. മാറി മാറി പിടിക്കുക. പൊന്നി ലൈവ് കാണുമ്പോ പേടിയോ? ആരും ഉണ്ട് ലൈവില്. ആർക്കും ഞാൻ കൊടുത്തിട്ടില്ലേ? ആ ഞാൻ തന്നെയാ, പക്ഷെ ഞാൻ ലൈവ് അടിച്ചിട്ടില്ലല്ലോ. തുറന്നിട്ട് മറ്റാണോ വെച്ചാലോ ഫോൺ? ചേടാ മോനെ, ഇത് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് ഏതോ നോക്കിയപ്പോ തിരിഞ്ഞു. അല്ല അത് റൊട്ടേറ്റ് ചെയ്തപ്പോഴല്ലേ? അയ്യോടാ. പിന്നെ ഞാൻ ലൈവ് വന്നു. ലൈവ് വന്ന് ഇപ്പൊ പറഞ്ഞേക്കല്ലേ. ഇത് ഇവിടുന്ന് കൈ വിട്ടണ സാധനം തെറിച്ചോണ്ടിരിക്കും. അല്ല നേരത്തെ ഇങ്ങനെ തിരിച്ച സംഭവം ആവോ, ഇപ്പൊ തിരിയില്ല. ഇതൊക്കെ എന്തിട്ടാണ് തൊടുമ്പോഴേക്കും ഓറിയന്റേഷൻ മാറി. ആ അതെ, തിരിച്ചു വന്നു. എടാ ഫോണിൽ നോക്കിയപ്പോഴാ വന്നത്.
So good afternoon once again. So we are up for our semi-finals of Big Fight Season 7, conducted by Department of Mechanical Engineering on behalf of Mechanal Fest 24. And let us once again welcome and invite our judges for the semi-finals and the finals that is going to be conducted in the afternoon session. We have a new judge for our semi-finals. It is Mr. Suraj R from SEMS School of Engineering and Technology, who's also the Nodal Officer UR chapter at SEMS. Welcome you, Suraj sir, and thank you for coming on our invitation. We also have our other two judges, Sunijos ma'am and also Vidhu ma'am joining us. So let's go for the semi-final battle. And first on stage we do have Team Renegades speaking for the motion and Team Duabate speaking against the motion. Can we have you both on the hot seats here? Yes. Once again, the rules and regulations. As before, you will have 1 minute of preparation time on stage, and then 2 minutes for the first speaker of for, 2 minutes for the first speaker of against, 2 minutes for each speakers of for and against. And this time, the semi-finals, we have an extended time of 4. Okay, and for 2 minutes, only after the bell goes, should the speaker of each team start speaking or stop speaking. Okay. Yes. So thank you and all the best to all 4 teams.
Okay. ഇതിവിടെ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്യണല്ലോ. എനിക്കറിയില്ല ഇത്. ഒരാൾ നിന്നവിടെ തല വെച്ചത് വഴിയിലേക്ക്.
Judges, please note, speaking for the motion is Team Renegades and speaking against the motion is Deliberation. And once again, for the attention of the audience and judges, the topic for the semi-finals of Big Fight is: does the curriculum variations between CBSE, ICSE and the state boards contribute to widening knowledge gaps among students? Okay, so Renegades speak for the motion, stating that yes, it does contribute to widening the knowledge gap, whereas Team Duabets speaks against the motion, saying it does not have any difference or widen the knowledge gap. Okay, so your preparation time starts.
Curriculums, we can notice that most of the topics that are common to between all three curriculums. For example, I'm somebody who studied in all three of the major curriculums in India, and in being in all three, I realized most of the technical concepts have been covered. For example, calculus, physics, social, most of the major topics that we need to live a decent life has already been covered. Acquisition of knowledge is more art than contrast between education and knowledge. Education is mostly a deep rote learning progress, while knowledge is limited to a person's individual desire to learn, their capacity and their imaginations. Let's take a great example, APJ Abdul Kalam. He studied in a not so good school as he stated himself, but he himself is one of the most knowledgeable and most learned man in the country because he is somebody who has shown that the knowledge, the desire and the pursuit of knowledge is what is more needed than education in general. The education that we refer to now is mostly, the reality of education today is mostly rote learning. But knowledge is a pursuit of knowing things that needs to be known. And let's look at this again. Like, if you look at the definition of knowledge, it's a culmination of personal experiences, self-study, interactions. This is done at one's own pace. But if you Google the term education, you see a small point, a structured process typically done in an institution, a formal institution. And yes, CBSE, ICC state does help the students.
Hi, good afternoon. First of all, your points were quite interesting. But I actually stick with our topic. The thing is that you see, I'll just start from the basics. State board, it is affiliated with particular state, whereas ICC and CBSE is national level affiliated schools. All these have their own different curriculums. Whereas in state board, in plus 1 plus 2, they use NCRT's text, but still we see certain regional influences. But whereas when it comes, it's totally different. Their scope is rather very broad. So there itself is a difference. But then coming to the language, especially in this era when we are like promoting our mother tongue, our language, we should note that state board prioritize on that, and they do provide questions in the native language in their question papers as well as. Whereas in CBSE we can see they'll be in both English as well as Hindi. But in ICSE, except for their second and third languages, the paper is totally in English. This has actually an advantage in perspective too, because when you're giving TOEFL or like IELTS, this comes to you having an advantage. Whereas CBSE and state students, not that they can't, but they are just a step backward, but they can capture it. But then again, there are like a lot of factors, especially for moving parents who like travel around India. If you're studying like affiliated to a CBSE, it will be easy for you to find a school because you can follow the same curriculum throughout India. But if it is a state board, it is quite difficult. If you move away from Kerala, go to UP, you don't really be able to find a CBSE affiliated school. And also we should know that there are CBSE and ICSE affiliated schools abroad as well as. Then again, if you know about the exams like KVPY or like SAT, all these exams, KVPY is like a policy to like.
India is a country with deep roots in the education sector. Education from ancient times onwards, which began from Gurukul to the modern school, always depend on and mostly depended on socio-economic factors, interests, and focus on how they face education. Education, wherever it bloomed, always presented a different view on culture and belief. This process is still available today, and it still is happening on every state in India, whether it is ICC, CBSE, or state. In all these cases, the major difference is the place. Other than that, all the factors, which include the syllabus and the contents of what they are learning, is mostly similar. Students in public schools are usually more affluent than students in state schools, except private state schools. In such cases, where students are already highly affluent, usually don't focus more on acquiring money and are much more interested in learning knowledge. Whereas in the poorer sectors, it's not the case. They usually are more focused on earning their day-to-day necessities rather than earning knowledge for a future purpose. The vicious negative cycle caused by this same issue causes them to fall back on major areas in their life.
You were talking about APJ Abdul Kalam. He's from Tamil Nadu, and now I would like to say that in the state of Tamil Nadu, when it was before NEET, there was state examination conducted for the students to get medical seats, and then 15% of the students used to get medical seats from Tamil Nadu. When it was transferred to NEET and it was a national level examination and it is English format and everything, the student number has reduced it to 1.6 percentage. So what do we have to talk about that? And CBC and ICC students have more analytical and technical skills than the state students. So how do you say that there is no gap in this?
See, the most basic topics that you need for technical skills are generally covered at every step of the way. Even if you study abroad, even if you study in India. Let's focus on the Indian part. If you're somebody who's studying in India, and if you're a computer, for example, let's take the domain of computer science. As I was studied in CBSE and IB and GSE, that is ICSE itself. So I studied there. I studied in all three syllabuses. We've covered the basics of computer science. We've covered the basics of programming. And when I compare myself with my fellow who studied in both CBSE and state, we've covered the same syllabus. We've covered the same things. The only difference is I'm somebody who pursued it. I'm somebody who's still pursuing computer science. I'm on the pursuit of knowledge for computer science. Whereas my friend here chose another domain. He chose mechanical engineering instead. So yes, if you look at it that way, anything that you want to learn, the basics and the foundations has been set for you. The education that you need to pursue knowledge has already been given to you. If you look at the basic definition of education and knowledge, you would understand this. Because yes, it is how it is.
All these were very interesting. But as my friend was talking about the past, recently a significant thing happened. Nalanda reopened. We might all have seen it. It's a very important part. You know, Indian education system, it was always broad. We had students from all the parts of the world where we integrated all our knowledge and made a culminated curriculum that like not only just was focused on academics, but in all aspects of life. You know, the difference in all these different boards. I mean, from these, there is also IGSC board. We should know about it. So the thing is that they all have different agendas. And it is good actually, you know, when it comes to state board, we can see school Kalutsav, and I don't think any other board does it better. You know, it actually inspires us and promotes the creativity in us. But ICC or like CBSE has a broader approach, especially if you are like preparing for SATs or like after +2 or like after in colleges, are like following international curriculum, and these are like more focused on that. So I'm not saying we should like concentrate on particular things. I mean, we should know about all of these things. There are like vicious negative cycles. I mean, can you say about anything? I mean, it's education. I mean, it should not be like kept to a particular college. I mean, the acceptance rate in India to like primary, like main colleges like IITs or like AIMS is very low, even compared to Ivy League colleges. But I won't. Can we honestly say that our curriculum? They are mostly dependent on the theoretical aspects, but we need both, and we can see the difference. So we should not like cut down to one. We should try to make them like a single board for everyone. We should accept the diversity and like aspire to be. And what I think and I suggest is that there should be like a combination or something, integrating all these boards so that we can get to know about each other and like take the good parts from us. Then again, there are a lot of stuff like even 65 lakh students from CBSE, like in 10th and +2 failed. So we can't really say that it is a good board. But you know, there are a lot of good aspects. But in state, there are people who are achieving greatness. You know, there are great leaders. I mean, APJ Abdul Kalam, he came from a poor background and look at the levels he achieved.
You talked about APJ Abdul Kalam achieving greatness. You do realize that the CEO.
Time is up. Oh, the 4 minutes of your content was. You are aware, right? Yeah. That's okay. Okay, so we are done. So that were the first teams for the semi-finals, and we had team Renegades and we had team Duobates. We had a wonderful debate, and thank you both teams. Yeah. Thank you. I hope the rules are clear. We have 1 minute of preparation, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and 4 minutes of rebuttal. Okay? And for the next final round of our semi-finals, we have Team GLCE speaking for the motion. and team SSA speaking against the motion. Can we have you both on stage, please? Yes. 1 minute preparation, 2, and 4 minutes of reflection. Okay? Okay.
അവിടെ വയ്ക്കാൻ പറ്റും.
Okay, your time for preparation starts now. Yeah. Team GLCE speaking for and Team SSA speaking against.
Hi all. So, not again going to topic. So, so I would like to begin with a small quote. Education means it's not learning of the facts. You're training your mind to think. So, in India, if you want to train your child's mind to think, you have 4 ways. You can homeschool them. You can enroll them to a CBSE school, state school, or an ICC school. So, obviously, since there are 4 choices, it is pretty sure that all these 4 choices are different, and that's why we call them a choice. So now, if there are 4 choices, obviously we will have one which is the best and one which is comparatively. Now we are going to analyze all these 4 rather than 3 here and come to an understanding why 4 schooling methods cause a huge rift in the education levels of students. So first of all, I studied in a CBSE school, and as a result of that, when I'm comparing myself with students of my age, I can confidently say that I have a level of English vocabulary, or my level of speaking English comparatively has a better advantage, since in school we are trained to speak that way. Often CBSE school students can relate. We're not permitted to speak in mother tongues or any other language. So obviously there is a training difference that comes in. So education is not just about curriculum, it's also about training. So the way students are trained in ICC, CBSE and state school differ. Secondly, some universities in UKs and all, there instead of IELTS, if a student has scored more than 95% in CBSE or ICC for instance, then you need not apply for IELTS. You can directly go secure entry there, which clearly states that English speaking nations even acknowledge the quality of teaching in a CBSE school if a student has obtained 95% of grades. So that is a clear-cut proof that there indeed exists a variation. Here again we are measuring with the percentage the student has scored as well. I'm not bringing down any boards of education as such, but rather we need to understand the variation so that.
Once again, hello everyone. So I'll be talking against the motion of the topic. So the difference in the curriculums or the variations in the curriculums between these boards doesn't actually really contribute to the knowledge gap between them. It's actually the will or the capability of the student or the individual that matters to acquiring the knowledge. Speaking about the competitive exams, these competitive exams are equal for every student studying in either of the boards. It doesn't give any priority for any particular student in any particular board. But what matters is how how knowledgeable the student attending exams is. And the main point to be noted here is its skills over the knowledge. The fundamental skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and adaptability, all these skills are promoted in every boards. Only the difference is the portions covered. So it's like giving rather than resource, it's like a flexibility for the students to choose which way they want to study. Uh, Acquiring knowledge is not something equal to acquiring education. Like said earlier, education is just a process of acquiring knowledge, and knowledge is something that we can acquire by our will. It's not. It's not just what the boards provide or something. We can get the education from everywhere, like the resources, the libraries. So no one is stopping us from anything, right? So the boards that, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a CBSE student, and I know my friends who studied in board education who are well versed in mathematics and science than me. So that doesn't make any difference in knowledge.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me start with the quote of Aristotle. It states that treating unequals equally is nothing but unfair. So that is exactly what happens when we put in students from different syllabuses and different curriculum on the same path of education for higher education or job. So there is no doubt or there is no debate in the question of whether there are different curriculums or whether these different curriculums include different kind of approach for their studies. There is no doubt or no debate on this topic. But the issue is when clearly these syllabuses are unequal, how do we treat them equally for higher education and jobs? So that is why we say that there needs to be an understanding that they are all coming from different backgrounds. There is clearly differences, for example, in the kind of teaching methodologies they adopt. For example, in the kind of elective subjects they give. Different state syllabuses. When we think about state syllabuses, it's not only about the Kerala state, but there are states in UP and Bihar where the examination system itself is a very liberal one. Their evaluation system also comes into a very liberal system. So we need to think not just about the syllabus or the studying pattern, but also the evaluation criteria, their marking systems, their teacher training programs, and the quality of education they are giving. So while all these aspects are to be considered, they are clearly people of different backgrounds. They are clearly people coming from different backgrounds and different capabilities. Now, in order to ensure that all of these people have the quality that we need to have, that we are trying to inculcate in a citizen in India, there needs to be a unifying system. Now, this unifying system has to come about in the primary education system itself. See, we are now one administration. In all these systems, we need to focus more on developing one nation, one syllabus system as well.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to bring to attention that here we are talking about bridging the knowledge gap between students. The basic education provided in all the boards are same, although the methodology might differ unless the higher secondary education. After that, NCERT syllabus is provided for all the schools. Also, because of these standards that you put in, English is taught somewhere else, maths or science or arts is more important. Because of that, a lot of other boards look down upon the state syllabus. But here we have a lot of examples. For example, Byju's, who created the Byju's app. Sridhanya Suresh, who is the first tribal woman IAS officer, first Kerala tribal woman to become the IAS officer, who studied in Malayalam middle school. She still managed to become the IAS officer. And our Narayan Murthy. See, the thing is, for nobody, we have the right to education, and nobody in either of the boards stop the students from acquiring more knowledge or getting to know more than what is taught in the syllabus. And in fact, in all boards, it is encouraged, even in college education, to acquire more knowledge than what is taught or spoon-fed. We as students need to come forward, look into the library, look into whatever source material that we have. Boards or the set of syllabus that they have is never the problem. Knowledge gap does occur, maybe because of poor infrastructure, lack of resources, absenteeism, and so many other. And especially, the particular capability of the student is a key factor on how much the student inculcates into their curriculum or for their future development. Thank you.
Okay, so that brings me to a question. First of all, I'd like to all of us to imagine a hypothetical scenario. Suppose I am getting a degree, a bachelor's degree in physics from a private college in Kerala. At the same time, there is another person who has their bachelor degrees from Harvard University. Does the laws of physics change for both of us? It does not. But can I say with full confidence that both of us have the same education levels? We learned all the three laws of Newton together. What we are trying to question is that the curriculum difference does indeed constitute the education gap. If I have to compete with a Harvard student, then I have to build extra skill set, which proves my point that education has not been built. And secondly, skills are purely built upon knowledge, and knowledge has to be acquired from the curriculum, from the school. So how would you like to rebut that?
So the point is, someone who has a better access to some studying in better university has a better knowledge, right?
No, I'm saying that despite, even if I hypothetically agree with you that we might have, even if it's not, if we might learn the same thing, it does not mean we are actually having the same education.
So the thing is, a person who is interested in studies will, or is capable of acquiring knowledge, will get it from anywhere. What happens in the mainstream universities, or the so-called the biggest universities, is that they conduct some kind of screening test, and they get the best. Get the best students who are capable and willing to do so. So that's the main point and the result, or the key to the success of these universities.
See, the very reasoning behind conducting of entrance, or one of the main reasons behind conducting of entrance, is the very fact that these people are coming from different syllabuses, different curriculum, different understanding. If we had same syllabuses, or people of same knowledge level, or same education system or experiences coming into the same examination, then we need not have such an entrance examination on board. One of the main reasons why we have entrance examinations itself is the fact that we need to bring them into inequality. So why should we need to bring them in equality? It's because for many factors, these people are unequal. For example, in CBSE or ICSE students have an upper hand in language and information technology, and whereas the state syllabus students in different states have an upper hand in regional languages and many social developmental skills as well. They have many practical knowledge as well. And to repeat what you just said, we are nowhere in supporting of CBSE or ICSE. We are saying that there are differences. There are different sets skill sets that the CBSE have, whereas the states lack. There are different skill sets that the state have, which the CBSE lack. This is exactly what we are debating on right now. There knowledge. The other thing, you can, like, suppose there are more cultural competitions. One of the boards. Then for the education, you can go for tuitions. Somewhere certain schools provide entrance coaching as well. Their curricula has no focus. So maybe you can do something else on your part to build your curricular system as well, co-curricular system as well. Also, saying that different boards treat students differently is like students studying the same course from different colleges and blaming the college for the student not appearing good in their exams. The thing is, if you want to succeed, you can always have, if a student is, stopped from gaining more knowledge, or is not provided enough sources, then yeah, it's their fault. But the sources fault, the infrastructure fault.
Thank you, teams GLCE and team SSA. That was another wonderful debate. Okay, now we have time for the judges to reach the final judgment of who the two final teams are going to be for the final battle of Big Fight Season 7. So let's need 10 minutes of a break for the judges.
സെറ്റപ്പ് ചെയ്തു ലൈവില് നാണം കിട്ടും. പേയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇതിന് കുറെ പണിപ്പാടി ഇതെന്തൊക്കെ ചെയ്യണത്? റീസെറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന വഴിയുണ്ട്. ചത്തത് ഇനി ഇതിനൊക്കെ ചാർജ് കൊടുത്തണ ഇത് ഓഫാക്കി ബെസ്റ്റ് നല്ല എന്നിട്ട് അവനറിയാം ആ കേടുണ്ട്, സംഭവം കേടുണ്ട്. ചിരിയുണ്ട് ഇത് സംഭവം. ആ ഇത് ഒരെണ്ണം നോക്കുമ്പോ രണ്ടെണ്ണം നോക്കി.
ഇപ്രാവശ്യം ജസ്റ്റ് ഞാൻ അനൗൺസ് ചെയ്താൽ മതി. ഫൈനലിൽ നമുക്ക് ഇനി വീണ്ടും ജഡ്ജ്മെന്റ്.
മറ്റേ ലൈവല്ലേ പോകുന്നത്? ഏതൊരു ലൈവാണ് പോണേ? കുറച്ചുകൂടി ഇത് എന്റെ ഫോണിലെ ഇത് കയ്യിൽ നീ എടുത്തോടെ പോണ്.
That's my name. He is also capable of going as a he owns a company, isn't it? As the head of yeah. Really good. Yeah. He cannot speak.
Yes, all team ready, and we are ready to listen to who our finalists are in the 7th season of Big Fight. And let's keep a little suspense to this event. We are going to first reveal the topic for the final round. Can we have the topic? Yes. Can Can we have it on full screen, Aman? Anyways, the topic is, we had a recent study or a report that had come in Times of India, and the report was, the study was by Morgan Stanley, and the Morgan Stanley report says 45% of women to be single, childless by 2030. That was Morgan Stanley study, and this report had come just recently on September 9, 2024. Okay? And based on this study, the topic for today's Big Fight Season 7 is Women on the Rise. Thus, pursuing career ambitions undermine the foundations of family. So this is the topic for the finalists of Big Fight Season 7. And now let us know who these finalists are. Out of 14 teams, we had 4 teams in the semi-finals. And now for this wonderful debate topic, we have the final 2 teams, and they are none other than Team Renegades and Team GLCE. Once again, a big round of applause to Team Renegades and Team GLCE, who are the finalists of Big Fight Season 7. Can we have both the teams? Can we have both the teams here on stage, please? Okay, so you're clear with the topic, I guess. We have the topic once again on the screen. And congratulations once again. And let us now see if it's the head or tails and you're speaking for or against the motion. And then now the time is, what's the time now?
Time is 2:38.
2:38. Let's say 2:40. We have a 30 minutes of preparation time, when others will also have the break. And then we'll start by 3:05, 3:10. Okay? And then it's a 20 minutes of fight going to happen with 10 minutes of rebuttal. Okay? So it's going to be a real fight. So please do prepare. Now, head or tails? We'll give it for the Renegades. Yeah. Head or tail? So you go for heads. And whoever gets the toss is going to speak for the motion. And that would be, yes, Aman? So that's a tails, which means the girls are going to speak for the motion. And can I have the topic once again? Okay, so you have to speak saying that, yes, pursuing career ambitions of women does undermine the foundations of family. And the boys will have to speak against this, okay? So it's going to be a real fight with a contradictory version to the thing. Let's see and let's wait for the fight, and your time starts now for your preparations. Thank you, teams.
That's interesting. Instagram page which is actually whether she follows me. Thomas ne this is like our against the foundations of family. Lawyers
Hello? John and പോയാ ശരി ശരി ശരി.
ഈ ലൈറ്റല്ലേ ഇവിടെ തന്നെ.
അതിൻ്റെ അടിയിൽ ഇരിക്കത്തു.
വരും വരും അവിടെ തന്നെ ലൈറ്റ് 50 എല്ലാവരും വരണം. 9 o'clock 50 9 o'clock it will start and 4.
Refreshments, half an hour refreshment break. All participants, we have arranged light refreshments for you. So we have half an hour time waiting until the finals. So please move out of the conference hall and have your refreshments and come back. We need good audience, so please come back. Okay, thank you.
ഇത് പവർ സേവിങ് മോഡ്
3:05 സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം.
ഇല്ല
അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് 3:25
സാധനം ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെ പോയേ 10 കൊടുത്തിട്ട്
sometimes because I know really. It's like a different thing when you see your best friend ends up within some official you know him personally. അങ്ങനെ വലിയ ഡിഫറൻസ്. And I've seen
Still the
him
same
grow.
person.
I've seen him grow. Yes. From the time we met each other and to who he is right now, drastic change. He has grown every year. But one good thing about him is like he'll never judge you.
Best spokesperson. ഇത് രണ്ടിനും അല്ലാണ്ട്
പേപ്പേഴ്സ് പക്ഷെ അവൻ ഹരി ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇതായില്ലേ തയ്യായില്ലേ മറ്റേ ആണോ അതാണ് ഞാനത് ഇന്ന് ഇറങ്ങിയിട്ടില്ല. കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് 4 മണി ആ ശരി 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 ഓക്കെ ആ ഓക്കെ. He'll never judge you. ഒരു കാര്യത്തിൽ ഇത് പോയി പാടില്ല. ഭയങ്കര അതല്ലേ നമ്മളത് കോൺട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് വെരി ലക്കി to have such friends. I have been all these years and now especially. Very few people. Because I don't want people to think that I'm extra favor. അല്ല സാർ എൻ്റെ വീട് ആലപ്പുഴ. മിസ്സിൻ്റെ വീട്
ഹോസ്റ്റലിൽ
എൻ്റെ തൃശ്ശൂരാണ് ഒരു 1 hour ട്രാവൽ 45 നമുക്ക് സെയിം ഡിസ്റ്റൻസ് തന്നെ അങ്ങോട്ട് സാറിനും അവിടേക്ക് ഒരു മണിക്കൂർ
We can have refreshments right now. So that we will have some fresh air also.
ഓക്കെ
ഞാനിന്നിപ്പം വീട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് വന്നപ്പോഴേ 60 കിലോമീറ്റർ.
അപ്പോൾ ഏകദേശം പകുതി എൻ്റെയൊക്കെ ഞാൻ 4 ദിവസമുള്ളൂ മൺഡേ ടു തേഴ്സ്ഡേ. മോനുണ്ട് എനിക്ക് 2 വയസ്സുള്ള തേഴ്സ്ഡേ MBA-ലൊരു ബിനു സാറിൻ്റെ പേര് CMS-ലൊക്കെ അത് പഠിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ആളാണ്. ഈ റൈറ്റ് നൗ ലിങ്ക്ഡിൻ തന്നെ some contacts. നോക്കട്ടെ സാറ് CMS-ലുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ സാറ് നമുക്ക് തേഴ്സ്ഡേ ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കാൻ വരുവേ എവറി തേഴ്സ്ഡേ. സാർ എന്നെ കളമശ്ശേരി വരും ആൻഡ് ദെൻ അവിടെ ഡെഡിക്കേഷൻ. ഞാൻ സെൻറ്റ് ട്രീസാസിലായിരുന്നപ്പോൾ എല്ലാ ദിവസവും പോകുമായിരുന്നു. ആലപ്പുഴ ഞാൻ രാവിലെ 6 മണിക്ക് ഇറങ്ങുമായിരുന്നു. അത് തന്നെ റീസൺ സിംഗിൾ എൻ്റെ ഒരിക്കലും നടക്കില്ല ഇങ്ങനെ
ഒരു ഹാപ്പി ഫിഷും കപ്പ് കേക്കും കൂടെ കൊണ്ടെത്തുന്ന
അല്ല
ഞങ്ങളിവിടെ ചിറ്റ്
ചെയ്തങ്ങിരുന്ന് പോയി.
അഷിയ they are coming right.
Curiosity, learn,
It's the final round. The topic is also very interesting. But the thing is, that is crazy. Okay. Oh yeah. So that's the way it's being given. That's the way they chose. We say the same topic once, and then the voice started talking about women working at night after they are doing something else. And my blood exploded in point. Yeah, you go with it. We have it. They chose. It just happened that way. It just happened. Good. There is some kind of justice in the world. Three of us. You were the new here? These are the kinds of topics that I like because what is inside sometimes comes out, but that's not coming out. The moment we saw the topic, we were like, oh, he didn't produce a sorry. Sometimes we see men like that. Definitely, sir is not like that. Yeah, thankfully so. I don't know. Why can't you have a child so you're singular? So many women who are opting for children, not just the biological children. Yeah. Because they want to look after the child. That's also even men are opting for. Yeah, she is there. Yeah. There are men as well. like to come from. But I think our society is let's tell you answer. Western society, yeah, modern society is fine. They have minimum broader outlook. But it will take time for our
I think, but when it comes here to come in a good, better manner. But then if we have doubts, why this is start when you start it.
It will start. Yeah,
You just give the topic.
the topics are people given. They're actually preparing.
Yes, I saw something on the stairs. And I should be coming. I came running. In fact, I still not picked up anything. It's more interesting than and this is chapter.
It might have started. What was the time? Yeah, start 3:30. 3:30 was right. Even we are excited. I would like to listen to the music, but just enjoy the music. Enjoy other people participating.
Every music.
Today everybody is there. Then on night Friday. I think 3 people are coming, right? Yeah. Baby G and one more guy is coming. Mechanical machine fest.
Music. Practice so long as it doesn't ingrain in your brain.
The lyrics sometimes controversial.
You don't hear all of it.
This person Hanumane kind. So good. That person. He's a Malayali, but his accent is far better than is it? I mean, even Americans couldn't Hanumane kind. His name is actually Suraj, no? Yeah. His name is Suraj. He's from Kerala. But then this boy was born in Texas, I guess. Texas.
Nowadays, they bring classical music. I like that.
Like even music shows.
I like that.
I should thank you for calling me. I wanted you to come.
And the girl, that's why you started to understand me.
As a girl, so really engaged with
That's the reason.
Ashia.
Oh my god.
Maybe that's right.
I call him. That makes it more awkward. I call him.
Only 2 people are watching.
Only 2 people are watching. Oh, that's good. That is also being recorded. Picture ഇനി വല്ലതും ചെയ്തിട്ട് റെക്കഗ്നിഷൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു.
എന്ത് കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ
എക്സൈറ്റഡ് ടു അവസാനം അടിയോ ഭയങ്കര ഇഷ്ടം. ബോട്ടിലൊക്കെ മാറ്റി നമ്മൾ ഇന്റർവ്യൂ ചെയ്യേണ്ട വരുമോ?
എങ്ങനെയാവും പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല അല്ലേ? എങ്ങനെ നമ്മൾ അതിനെ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് കൊടുക്കരുത് അല്ലേ? ഷൂ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഫോറും അഗേൻസ്റ്റും മാറി മാറി പറയിപ്പിക്കും. ഓൺ ദ സ്പോട്ടിൽ അതൊരു 5 മിനിറ്റ്സ് കൊടുത്താൽ
ഓൺ ദ സ്പോട്ട് ആക്ച്വലി.
പക്ഷെ ആ റിബട്ടലോ
അത് പ്രോബ്ലം
നല്ല രസമാണ്. അതേ എനർജിയോട് കൂടി മറ്റേന്ന് പറയണം.
ആഫ്റ്റർ റിബട്ടൽ ചെയ്താൽ മേഡ് ഓൾ ദ പോയിന്റ്സ്. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ്
ഓൺ ദ സ്പോട്ടിൽ അപ്പം പറഞ്ഞാൽ സർപ്രൈസ് ആയി.
They just heard surprise. They don't know what's the surprise element.
And naturally, what comes from
yeah. like honest opinions.
ലക്ഷ്മി പാർവതി ആ സ്നേഹം കൂടി വേണം കേട്ടോ. സി പഠിപ്പിച്ച സ്നേഹം. ലാസ്റ്റ് ഡോട്ടർ സി. ഷീസ് എ വെരി സ്റ്റുഡിയസ്.
അവരുടെ ഓണസ്റ്റ് ഒപ്പീനിയൻസും കൂടെ അറിയാം.
Do we have both final teams in? Yes. Yes.
This is good actually.
Okay. Let's not.
Yeah. Yes, we will start. നമുക്കിത് പറഞ്ഞ പോരെ.
So welcome back all participants of Big Fight Season 7 conducted by Department of Mechanical Engineering, and we have our final round of Big Fight here with the topic Women on the Rise, does pursuing career ambitions undermine the foundations of family? Okay, and speaking for the motion we have Team Renegades, and I welcome Renegades onto the stage to occupy your hot seats for the motion. For is, does pursuing career ambitions undermine? Okay, so you speak against the motion. Renegades are speaking against the motion. They say that. Can I have the topic?
Nothing is undermined.
Yeah. They are standing against the motion. Which means pursuing career ambitions does not undermine the foundations of family, and women need to do that. They support that. Okay? So we have the Renegades supporting women to pursue career ambitions, and they say it's not going to undermine the foundations of family. And on the 4, we have Team GLCE here on the hot seat stating that yes, pursuing career ambitions do undermine the foundations of family, and we have GLCE here. Please come onto the stage. Give them a big round of applause and motivation and support. Yeah, and the rules for this. We have, do we need preparation time? I think 1 minute of preparation time. And then we have 2 minutes for, 2 minutes against, 2 minutes for, 2 minutes against, and a rebuttal of 10 continuing minutes. We have 10 minutes of rebuttal here, okay? We have a surprise element which will only be told at the end. But anyways, so far we have, this is our time, okay? So, Aman, can we have we'll have the topic here. Give a bell for the preparation time, okay? Guys, ready? You want to have some water? All cool? Set for the final battle? Please make it a battle. We are waiting for that. Guys, is the live streaming on? Yes. Okay. So, we have the preparation bell starting for 1 minute now.
Hi all. Now regarding the topic, women on rise. This pursuing career ambitions undermine the foundations of family. Myself as a woman, I would say without hesitation, yes. Women pursuing career has indeed undermined the foundations of the family system in India. In India, we have this oft repeat quote. It says, Mata Pita Guru Devam. The primary importance is upon the mother. The mother is a nurturer. She gives birth to the child. She looks after the family. She's the backbone of the family. And how fair is it to send that mother to work to sustain the family? Is it that the men should do? She is something of a divinity or something sacred that has to be protected? Why should we work our mother? Why should we make our mothers work in this economy? Why should they be subjected to this stress? And I would like to further sustain my arguments by putting forth some logical conclusion that I have arrived in this regard. Firstly, I believe that the myth that women has to work is simply propagated by capitalism. There is no need for a woman to work to survive, for a family to survive. I would say that my mother is a stay-at-home mother. She has taught me and she has brought me up. And this in fact reduces the extra burden of bringing another person who, let me say, a babysitter or a childcare worker, or keeping a nanny, and that is saved considerably for my family and for anyone else. There is no additional risk of bringing forth another third person towards my family saying, I need someone to look after my child. No, I have my child and I can look after myself if my husband provides for me. So it's very simple as that. A family structure is traditionally comprising of a mother, father, and the children. And it's not right, it's not right for a child to grow up alone. So you need exactly siblings for that. And if you're speaking biologically, a woman has to, there's something called as a biological clock. So this clock is ticking, and ideally by the time I'm 25 or by 30s, I need to have 2 children. And now, if I keep thinking about that, if I have one child, I need to take.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, does pursuing career ambitions undermine the career foundation family? We firmly believe and stand against the notion. Believe the time to challenge the outstanders of the stereotype. So, being a woman, that doesn't mean that you have to sit in your house or look after your family and look after your children. I would say you have the power and the independency to work and make your family more financially stable, even if the man in your family is working, your husband or whoever it is. And I would like to quote Michelle Obama. She stated that there are so many ways to be mother and there is no right to. You can be mother and still have a career, and still have a career, still have your own identity. So, this proves that this power does not fade when a woman stays professionally into the expanse. So if she wants to work, she has to work, and she have all the rights to work for it. And I would say, even if your man is working, is it okay? I will say it is pretty okay for your woman to work too. You can be a role model to your children and show them that we can also do whatever the man tries to do. Most of the women in this current situation, in this modern time, women are trying to prove it, and they are proving it. And I would also like to say one thing. We believe men and women have the abilities to contribute to the society. So contributing in a way a woman can do is more than a man can. Like she might have more knowledge about how to look after the society, like how to look after a family. So that can be. Thank you.
Good evening, one and all. So let me start by stating that equality is nothing but a scam. Equality is a scam that is perpetrated by men. And sitting across to men here who are proudly talking about the thing that women have the ability to multitask, women has the right to do all these things, women has the ability to do all these things. Why should we suffer? Why should we be put into the trouble of doing all these works together? I recently came across a magazine which had a picture of a woman with 10 hands. In one hand she had a book, one hand she had a child, one hand she handed utensils, in one hand she was cooking something. This is how the society views a woman, and this is exactly the why women are suffering. This is exactly why what has led us to, this is what has all these situations has led us to. Now, if you're thinking about a situation where women and men are equal, don't you think the equality should come in all aspects? had men be the actual providers, like how it was in ancient times, had men gone out and looked after the family by being the actual providers of home, women would actually be willing to sit at home and cook. Women will be willing to sit at home and look after the children. Now that is an actual balance, not together going and working, not only the women multitasking. Irrespective of all these facts, we know that women today are working. A lot of high amount of women are working, and that is exactly what has led to this situation. And in that situation, even in that situation, 68% of women have to spend more than 3 hours per day to look after the children. No men are willing to come and do that. Now again, we have to compromise. Women have to compromise. Women have to look after the children and family all together in one scenario. Now, biologically speaking, it is an accurate depiction that women have the capacity biologically to look after children. They are naturally given with inborn facilities to make childbirth and looking after children easy. So if you look at our nature, animals are also the same.
All the points what my dear fellow friends said are like quite thought-provoking, but I would like to disagree, but I'll take it up on with the rebuttal session. So I'll just come with certain facts. You know, India is the 5th largest economy in the world with a 3.95 trillion economy. And do you know what is the population of, like, percentage of population, like women in India? It is like nearly 48.5. But only 37% of women contribute to the workforce, and their contribution to India's GDP is just 18%. But whereas in China, it is 40%. I would actually like to come across like certain statistics from Forbes to answer some of their questions. You know, why women feel that they can't work to raise a family is because according to some surveys done in the US, nearly 1/3 of the women feel that they can't combine their career and their family. And 25% of women say that they have no support from their family, friends, or their parents or relatives to like support them. You know, this is the factor which we should address. And now again, coming to certain statistics, nearly 53.5% of the women are like have a bachelor's degree, and of which 32% are contributing to the economy, and of which like a very small a larger population is Gen X, you know, Gen X kids, not kids, Gen X. They are the major contributors. And you know, the breadwinners, those who are breadwinners, women breadwinners, and 62% of them lie that it's their husbands who earns the bread, you know, who earns the money. See, there is an ideological concept that's been existing for a long time, which has to be addressed. That is a core factor. And we see that in India, like 20% of the MSMEs are owned by women. And we have a great example, Kudumbashree. It's everywhere. Like, look at the good work they are doing. They're like contributing to society. They're helping to create a lot of good work. It is not just about contributing to the like economy.
See, I will like to simply state one thing. If you want to let your wife work, then simply you shouldn't get married. Because if I am expecting to get married, I am expecting that I will be looking after my child, I will be looking after my family. I'm happy to do that. I'm very happy to do that. I'd like to have a wonderful family and spend time with my husband. I do not expect to be burdened with the extra burden. And now let me state some statistics. You told that 55% of women have their bachelor's degree. Nobody is contradicting that. It's very good. A woman should be educated so that she can sit at home and educate her children. So we do not contradict what you said. We are merely reinforcing the fact that women should be educated. However, that education is not to be put in career. It should be put forward to building a better generation of people.
Okay, first of all, I would like to answer to the question, like a statement you said in the opening statement. So you said about the magazine having 10 hands. I would say I, being a man, do cooking, bake, do the household chores and things. So there are men in this world who do this stuff work. So why can't the woman and men do it together? And still the woman go to the office, work, come back, and like the men do, and do all the works together. So why can't they do that? So are you guys saying that you should be restricting women and making them sick even if they wish to work? I personally know so many women and my friend's mother and every other woman I know. They wish to go out, work, they explore the world, and get an idea how this world is working and all. So how do you expect a woman to sit inside the house and know the current situation going outside?
Okay, so you are a man who are willing to help women in her household chores. And glad, I think what you are looking up to is a standing ovation, because that is only one out of a very, very high number of men that I have come across in my life who can actually say that, and very few out of who say that can actually pull off that. Now coming to the statistical data of whether women should, all those activities, women are being involved in all these activities, women are being contributing to all this generation, okay, I agree with that. But women are actually being burdened with a lot of responsibilities in addition, because you've been, this whole Western idea or concept and this result of capitalization that has brought us to this fact that women have been gaslighted into believing the fact that we should work from the day one, we should work to achieve one sort of equality that can never be achieved. And we are made to believe, and we are, we are just trapped inside this bubble of delusion that we can achieve that equality in some day or age. But it is never the truth. We are never attaining that equality, and men are the perpetrators of this theory, and they are actually tying up us to the fact that okay, you should work all this day, you should work for this economy. In fact, for them it is easy, because half of their work has now been taken by women, and now we have to sit at home and work as well. And that has led us to this has led us to believe that there is a concern that there are a lot of women that I've met in my life. By the age of 18 or 19, all they want is their career. 18 or 19, that is all what they want. But at the age of 30 and 40, if you ask the same woman, they have to sit at peace. They want to sit at peace. They want to look after the family, and they want to have a happy family and sit at home and have their child. And then it is too late, and what they have dreamed for all this while is never going to be attained.
See, it's so funny how my dear friends here are talking about all these. If you might all know like the situation in Afghanistan or in North Korea. There are actually women who are literally fighting, giving up their lives for their freedom and for their right to education and their right to work. They don't want to be behind any veils, or they don't want to be forced into a male agenda. They are fighting women. And in this situation, and in this time, and in this century, it's a drive for us to sit here and generalize and say, it is fine, women should not work, they should just go take care of the family. Responsibilities has to be divided. I come from a family where my both parents work, and my mother is a teacher, and she's more educated than my father. But they share their responsibility, be it raising me or doing household chores. They do these responsibilities and they make mistakes. Like a hell lot of a time, they fight, but they come to a logical conclusion. Yeah, you were right. If she was wrong, yeah, you were wrong. They accept and make corrections and they move forward. They stride forward for a new future, a better economy, or more than an economy, a better future for me, personally speaking. So I think ultimately every parents, caring for their children, as you said, their view or what they want is a better future for their family, their children, their relatives or their parents. See how these things can be achieved. In the past, it was very difficult for them. They were committed to certain duties. We live in a country where there was sati. Can you just accept it in this time? Can anyone accept it? So it is not about thinking about the past. We have to move forward. We have to make strict decisions. We have to make stricter changes, and we have to implement it. That is where our future stands. That is where our success stands. As a country, as humanity, that is where we stand. And once again, I would like to answer a question from a point from you said previously about a biological time clock. There are egg freezing techniques actually. It is expensive, but it is getting, it is becoming economical. And in near future, it could be it could be really cheap. And so you can choose your body, you can acclimatize your body to a time, a place where you actually are possible to take that responsibility, So there are restrictions, but we are coming to a place where it's all being wiped out with the development of technologies like CRISPR and stuff. It's totally cool,
Okay, so I will start with the first point here. So now I should give birth to a child, and now I am expected to go to the additional procedure of having an invasive medical procedure, which is not really expensive but have potential life-threatening effects to ensure that I can have a child. That's very ironic and funny. And now moving on, let me state something. I think you have confused operation with respect. And I would like to firmly refute a point that has been recurring throughout your statements, that is career the only thing that can buy respect for women? Should a woman have a career in order to be respected? The fact that being a woman itself is a fact that can be respected, and what is happening in Afghanistan is merely the oppression or the disrespect of the term women, and that cannot be compared or that cannot be even brought to this discussion.
Further, let me ask, you said a lot of data regarding how how the household equality should be there, how every work should be divided, women should take half of the responsibility mentioned. On what basis are you saying that women should be? On what records, on what statistics are you saying that women should take half of the responsibilities of the job and all those things? Because this is again all the statistics and information that men have found out, men have devised as an instrument to hinder the growth of women and happiness of women.
Okay, so before this, you said that you don't know many men who works for the like in a house also. I would say you have to interact with the men more now because in this modern world, men are ready to work equally as women in the house or whether in the office. So I would say you have to talk to them and understand them more than just saying that we are not ready. And let me ask you something. You are telling about the family thing. So I have a question. If a woman want to work and if a family is restricting it from them, what about the frustration they suffer, the self-doubt, the self-worth and all? And if she wishes to divorce, the family is broken out there. So I will say you have to allow the woman to work if they wish to do. And in this modern world, every woman wish to work equally as men and have financial support for themselves in case whatever any bad situations happens in their life.
Just a second. See, the discussion for today's topic is women on rise, thus pursuing career ambitions. Here the emphasis is on the word ambitions. We didn't say that you cannot have a side income. I can bake cakes, I can sell them, and I am having a side income with a wonderfully happy family. So the emphasis is on the term ambition, and ambition, as all of us know, it means expecting a lot, it means exerting myself a lot, and I do not find any reason to exert myself a lot for the benefit of my husband simply because I can. I have the right to rest.
All these facts are like really interesting. You know, my mother is a feminist. I love feminists. I personally am a feminist. But there are certain feminists who misinterpret the facts and like cheats the entire topic. That is really bad. That is what is kind of happening, however funny it might be. You know, baking a cake, it is actually a profession, you know. There are bakers, like there are chefs. So you're like literally saying it is not a profession? Like just a hobby?
Can you please answer if baking can be calculated as ambitious?
It can be ambitious. There are women who bakes and make a hell lot of money. Is that not ambition?
That is not ambitious. It's basically a side hobby that generates income. It's a passive income.
It is a passive income,
Yes,
really?
yes.
Have you heard of the firms like, or like the platforms or like the shops like Cake Studio, or like Cafe Day? All these things like, they are like worth a lot of money and you are calling them hobbies, really? I guess you should be super rich to say they are hobbies. I would love for having such a hobby, you know.
Excuse me, I was not saying of multinational corporations. I firmly believe that men should be leading all those things because women are not, they should not be doing that. I am saying that women should stay at home and make an income so that they can have a small, a piggyback fund from themselves if they want to buy things for entertainment. I'm not speaking of the big corporations, you see. That should be run by men.
KFC started from a kitchen, now it's $1 billion company. So you are saying women are literally not capable of having that kind of dreams, or like they should not pursue it. If they have a talent, they should not pursue it. They just sell the cake, buy a bag, maybe buy a Gucci or whatever. Is that what you're saying?
So are you just in support of the motion that you can focus on our career and go for our jobs, all of us, and forget that we have a family, that we have reproductive needs, and that we should have children and all those things? So you're going to prioritize career over family. Are you in support of that motion?
I am supporting personal growth over anything. I believe that a person should have self-growth. And family is a part of it. No, it is not a profession you choose. Motherhood is not a profession. You are merely monetizing it. You are monetizing motherhood. That is what you people are doing. Just because...
Okay. So that was a good rebuttal. And now we have the surprise element of this Big Fight Season 5 final round. We are going to swap the for and against, and we're going to have a 5 minutes of surprise rebuttal. So I don't think we need a preparation time for that. And so, since the team, can we have you all on the opposite sides, please? So we are going to have the rebuttal with, you know what you need to speak, right? And yeah. Now we have 5 minutes of rebuttal. Just rebuttal. But it will start with them as you spoke last. Okay? So let it start with them. Now they will be speaking for. You understand the swap? Any confusions? Let them start. Okay, that's fine. So as let the one person from the 4 can start. Okay, so once the bell goes, you can start. Yes, Aman, please.
There were like a lot of ambitious, iconic women, you know. Princess Diana was one of them. There were a lot of women who like 9 million bonus in investment banking sector, like in Goldman Sachs. But do you know the status of their marriage, their family life? They're like literally giving up their children to boarding schools. Even in Kerala, we have a lot of boarding schools. Like kids are being admitted from 8th standard. I'm not saying boarding schools are bad, but these people are growing without a closeness to your family. You know, it kind of like distances us from the real world and everything. So I do believe mothers, like being the goddess of the house, they have a responsibility to mold them. So I really think that working women cannot handle it both.
Okay, so wow, that is a very misogynistic statement because I firmly believe in the word of an individual that a person should be measured by their caliber, not by their gender. Nobody has written down that women should stay at home and just cook and have children. I earn a degree to work, bro. I don't have it for seeing you. I don't put it for showcase.
So you don't care about your children? Is that what you're saying?
We care as
Let
much
them
as
go,
only you
let
care.
them be families, let them do whatever they want. Is that what you're saying? So you're like absolutely being mother, giving birth to a new life, carrying them inside for 10 months. You're saying, done, I'm done with it. I don't want to be a mother. Get lost. Is that what you're saying they should do?
Yeah, unfortunately, my husband is an idiot who does not care about my children and has no authority and has no compassion to the, has no responsibility to take care of the children. And because of that very foolishness, I have to take up the burden of looking after my children and my family. And on top of that, you don't want me to go to work now. And on top of that, you are envious of seeing me earning money, you're envious of seeing me go behind my career and my ambitions. And above all that, you still somehow are very against boarding schools and taking care of children, and yet you're unwilling to put up any effort to look after the children, which is nothing but very ironic here.
Okay, so are you saying that if your husband is not looking after the children, you don't have to care about someone who you carried in your home for 10 months?
First of all, how did that come into my womb? I'm very much surprised by the fact that it's not a godly intervention of how it came into my womb. You have half of the responsibility as it is in my womb.
See, that's what I'm saying. It was consensual. So you can't ignore your responsibility, right? Just because your husband did.
We have to put up the children into boarding schools or all other facilities only because you are unwilling to provide for the family. Because you are unwilling to look after the family, you are unwilling to provide for me, and on top of that, you won't allow women to have careers and ambitions. And just like how you have studied and had educations and higher educations and dreams of qualifications, I should also have that same dreams. I should also have that same ambitions. And just because, and there is no, and my IQ is the same as your IQ, and whatever you have been able to implement or invent or discover, I have the same ability to do that. Just because there is a potential of a womb with me, I have to put up with the burden of looking after the children. That's very insulting actually.
So if you cannot take the responsibility or take care of your child, then why are you like willing to give birth to someone? Or like you said, boarding school. If you can manage that, if you are able to manage a boarding school, then why can't you take care of, like, it's more expensive than taking a child and give more experience.
I can take care of, I can put my child in a boarding school on the first, because I have an earning, man. I have an earning. And for an earning, I should have a job. And for a job, I should have education. And for that education, I should have, the minimum opportunity and all the facilities that men are being given.
See, I had a friend in my school. Unfortunately enough, his father died, and he had a single mother who raised him. If she was having such a concept, only if a partner contributes, she will take care of a child. I didn't see her throwing away a child. Does it, like, you have an equal participation in this? Regardless, I'm a very picky person. I would say that they should have picked better, from the start. That's what I would say. So you are like taking up a responsibility and you are like following through with it. Just because your partner just do some shit or like do whatever, you're just going to ignore the responsibility of a child. Is that what you're saying?
See, I'm very sad that you're choosing to portray us as cruel witches who do not care about children. We are not. We are willing to look after the children. Who said we are not? We are pursuing a career by a child. And see, a marriage is basically a matrimonial union. It's a civil union between a man and a woman where both of them are equal partners in everything. And let me take an example. If you go to a family court, we are pursuing law. So we've seen family courts quite a bit. So if you can see the family court, when there is the divorce issue, you can see that 65% of the times the divorce might be initiated by a woman just because of the unimaginable oppression. See, India is a very traditional country, and if a woman has to initiate divorce, it means that it's intolerable. And in such cases, the court may grant custody to the man. So it's not impossible that men cannot look after the children. It's because they simply have a woman at their disposal who does not have an income. You are considered equivalent to my slave and slavery has been abolished. And so you cannot put forth that argument here again.
So don't you think the men will be oppressed in the same way as you guys are?
The topic of our discussion is how men have been oppressing women, and that has led us to a childless society.
That is not the topic, how men has been oppressing women. It was about career woman again.
Is that done? Okay. So again, we have been given all these opportunities and facilities, and then again, the reason why you are asking us to look after our children and sit at home is because you have the same ideology or mind that women should be taking that responsibility. Whereas why can't you think it otherwise? Why don't you think you have actually 4 legs, you 2 legs and 2 hands, and you should also have that ability to look after a children? Whereas it is again on the burden of a woman who should sit up, look after the child.
You see, men are like biologically impaired to carry a child, breastfeed that child. So how do you expect to do that? That is something that a woman has been biologically equipped by God Himself. As a partner, it is a responsibility of man who can't do that to financially contribute it or to contribute in any way he wants. That is what he is doing. Whereas a woman who can do this and who has the ability and the IQ and EQ to take this responsibility, as you said, take it on.
That is why we have something called as the Maternity Benefit Act of 1961, which provides for 6 months of benefit.
Yes, so that was the one. How did you like the surprise element? That was nice. Okay, that was an initiative and idea suggested by Sudha ma'am, who's our Director of Outreach Activities. Thank you, Sudha ma'am, for making it more wonderful. Okay, so now you can leave the stage and let's wait for the results to be announced. Over to the judges, and we have 10 minutes of time for judgment.
Yeah, it's really tough for us. Yeah. Best spokesperson. അതാ ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചത്. അപ്പോൾ കുഴപ്പമില്ല. തേർഡ് ഒരു ബെസ്റ്റ് സ്പോർട്സ് പേഴ്സൺ. നമുക്ക് അത് എപ്പോഴെങ്കിലും ആവശ്യം. Yes, definitely. I will ask for them. Very good. They could have given some training or something like that. We can pay them.
Two people from law college just to give.
Shopping and സെക്കൻഡ് തോട്ട് പോലും
There were 14 groups. 14 groups were there. Different topics. No, the first one they had the topics media, regarding media. Then we shortlisted four. Media is not becoming the same topic now. Then we shortlisted 4 teams for the semi-final. And then we had for the final topic. The topic is the
semi-final
regarding the
curriculum.
Absolutely. Yeah. Are they contributing to widen the gaps? Is it different curriculums like CBSE?
Is it widening the gap or is it like okay?
Yeah.
Like really interesting topics. That came out. That twist was a good thing. അപ്പോഴാ ശരിക്കുള്ള ഇതന്നെ വരുന്നുണ്ട്.
Because naturally, it's easy to twist immediately. എന്താ ഇങ്ങനെ deep root right?
Conditioning.
We are supposed to break the glass ceiling.
It's the conditioning.
And the equal space are concerned.
We have been.
And the conditioning at perhaps it starts.
Yeah. We have been conditioned in a way. Good if this thing happens. Good now. This thing happens by 2030. So I say it's a good thing. Population issues will also be solved.
Some poor child who's born in an orphan also
can be a
parent. It will be a man. Be a man.
Even they should promote that LGBTQ and they should legalize gay.
It's legalized.
I don't know, but the adoption part is not. It's very difficult for them to process.
It's difficult for everyone to
Especially for people who are.
People are misusing the whole thing because of child pornography and things like that. No, mention in poem. We become so like animals. We can't.
That's because we are humans.
Humans and handicapped.
Handicapped people.
They will make good lawyers.
Oh, they are going to be good lawyers.
The girls are from law college and now the girls are from the law college. The boys they are not.
Yes.
So you are okay. That's all.
One of the boys was really good.
They can speak well. That's it. Especially the one. The second one is better in the speaking with a humorous sense or something like that. He's laughing all the way. That is good. And he enjoyed the switch. More than the switch. He could have used the same thing about his parents. They could have used it the same thing in a different sense altogether.
Yeah.
He was able to immediately switch.
That switch part was really good.
Though it was contradicting.
Exactly.
Really good in that. I can argumentation. He immediately put it there. Yeah.
Because it's natural for them to speak.
Okay, because they can ask such direct questions. We can ask direct questions.
ഫസ്റ്റ് ബെസ്റ്റ് സ്പോർട്സ് പേഴ്സൺ വിളിക്കും, പിന്നെ സെക്കൻഡ് പ്രൈസ് വിന്നേഴ്സിനെ വിളിക്കും, പിന്നെ ഫസ്റ്റ് പ്രൈസ് വിന്നേഴ്സിനെ വിളിക്കും. ഓക്കെ, സുധ മാം പ്രോഗ്രാമിനെ കുറിച്ച് 2 മിനിറ്റ് സ്റ്റേജ്. ഓക്കെ, പ്രൈസ് So when you come for the prize distribution, okay.
Should we be sitting here?
റിസൾട്ട് അനൗൺസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാരാ? ഞാൻ ചെയ്യാം. എന്നിട്ട് ഒരു ജഡ്ജ്മെന്റിനെ കുറിച്ച് വീണ്ടും മിഥു മാം ഒന്നും കൂടെ പറഞ്ഞു. ഇറ്റ് വാസ് എ ടഫ് ഫൈറ്റ് എന്നൊക്കെ യു ക്യാൻ സ്റ്റേജിൽ അത് പറയാം.
ഞാൻ പറയണ്ട സാർ ഞാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞ പ്രാവശ്യം അതുമല്ല ഈ ഒരു ടോപ്പിക് ആയതുകൊണ്ട് പിന്നെ but we really enjoyed it. ഇച്ചിരി കൂടെ എൻ്റെ ഇതിൽ കൂടെ ഫീൽ ലൈക്ക് ഞാൻ എക്സ്ട്രാ ഇവർക്ക് അത് കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട് ബിക്കോസ് ഐ കൻ നെവർ ഗോ അഗൈൻസ്റ്റ് പ്രൊമോട്ടിങ്
നല്ല ടോപ്പിക്കാണ്.
നല്ല ടോപ്പിക്. എല്ലാവരുടെയും നമ്പർ അത് 3 പേരുടെ അതെ നമുക്ക് നീ വേണമെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങോട്ടേക്ക്
Yes, so we are coming to the final waiting session of our Big Fight Season 7. We are going to announce our results. Before we announce the results, can I have some dignitaries on the dais? I request Sudha Balagopal ma'am, our Director of Outreach Activities, onto the stage. I request our HOD, Dr. Sijo MT, to kindly come onto the stage. We have the faculty coordinator of Big Fight, Jacqueline Vincent, requested for his presence on the stage. And our very special people of the day, our 3 judges, Suni ma'am, Vidhu ma'am, and Mr. Suraj. We are welcoming you onto the stage. I'm sad that we had very less audience. I'm sure Big Fight Season 8 will be filled with audience with this live streaming. I ensure all the participants that. And coming to the final results. Shall we go for the final? How did you all feel about the final round? Yes, it was nice. Yes, thank you. So, going to the final results. We have Ashia, are we ready with these certificates and the cash prizes? We have 3 prizes being given away today at Big Fight Season 7. And we have 1 prize for the best spokesperson out of all 14 participants. We also have the second prize winner. And then we have the first prize winner, okay? So I request I'm going to announce the best spokesperson or best speaker of the day to receive his or her prize onto the stage. And he or she is none other than Novan Sekriya Pradeep from Rajagiri School of Engineering. Kindly come onto the stage to receive your cash award for being the best speaker of the day of Big Fight Season 7. I request Sijo sir to give the prize for Novan Sekriya Pradeep of Rajagiri. This is the second time they're participating, and in Big Fight Season 6 they were the runners-up. Thank you for your participation. Thank you everyone. Before I go to the results of the finalists. Can I have Midhu ma'am to brief about the judgment and how your experience was in judging such a tight competition? Yes, Midhu.
Okay, so I think it was intense. Intense is the word that I'll use. It was quite intense, and I think four of you, you actively participated and you were able to put across your points very clearly and in a confident manner. So hats off. Can we just give them a round of applause, please? Excellent communication skills, the way you spoke, confident manner, and there is always a scope of improvement that is there. I'll definitely let you know that. But apart from that, and also this topic, I as a literature student, this topic is very personal to me. I have spent years working on gender. And so what I believe is that gender is fluid. Gender is not a constructed thing, it is very fluid. But that is only from a literature point of view. But when it comes to personal life, I know that there is nothing called equality. There is nothing called equality. We will constantly strive to attain that equality, but if you ask me if it exists, I'll say no. Not, from a literature point of view, we constantly thrive, we work towards it, but the actual situation is worse. So I am a woman who took career break for 2 years. I raised my son, then I again started my career. And so I had to take that career break because, of course, my husband being in a very senior position in one of a reputed firm, could never even think of doing that. So that is a reality. But then I took responsibility for our son and I took that break. But what if I wanted to continue with my career? There will be several questions asked. So let's not completely deny that. Let's acknowledge that inequality exists. But we, especially you as young students, should always strive to maintain that equality. Everything starts from your home. That's what I believe. I am, that's how I'm raising my son, and that's how I want my son to be. I want my sons to be very sensitive regarding a lot of things, to actually understand. And the reason why I came back to work, leaving my son with my parents, is also because I wanted him to know how strong his mother is. Because only if he sees a woman or his own mother being strong, will he be able to respect and acknowledge other women who are strong. So that's the message I would like to tell you. So everything starts from home, so practice equality right from your house, okay? And can the 4 students stand up, please? Yes. You were brilliant, both of you. Really good. You came up with logical points. There was coherence in your points. And what the 3 of us liked was the calmness you maintained. You weren't agitated. You weren't pissed off by any of their points or moves. You maintained that dignity, and the way you spoke was in a very calm manner. So I appreciate that. Keep on maintaining it, and if you can improve, start working on that too, okay? Yes. And regarding both of you, you were good. Confidence was good, but just a suggestion, okay? I do not know your name. What's your name? No. Yeah, Aditya. It's good to disagree and everything, but it's a suggestion, okay? But if you can do it in a little calm manner, and that would be good, because you got too emotional, and the words coming out of your mouth, no, not bad words or anything like that, but we couldn't comprehend some of the words, because you were speaking in a hurried manner, maybe because of the time limit and everything. Yeah, so, and also words like stuff, yeah, there are certain words, and hell out of So such words in a professional manner, we do not promote that. So it's just a tip, okay? If you can avoid slangs and words like hell, stuff, like that. So that would be better. It's only to improve your communication skills and conversation, have a meaningful conversation, yeah? Okay, so all the best to four of you. And it was, it's an honor to have been a judge to this event. Okay, and with that, I also thank everyone, Ashwati ma'am, Sijo sir, to have given me this opportunity. And so yes, thank you all.
Thank you, Midhu ma'am. That was actually summarizing and giving a conclusion to the whole debate today. Now, coming to the weighting part, right? So, we have in the second place for Big Fight Season 7, conducted by Department of Mechanical Engineering, Talkathon Club, we have the team. That was a natural break. The team Renegades from SEMS School of Engineering and Technology. They are Akunsi Abhilash and Aditya Raj TV in the second place for Big Fight Season 7. Welcome you onto the stage. I request Suraj sir to give the awards to the winners.
Second gender. Yeah, business soldier. Mechanical department, yeah.
I request all dignitaries to please stand up for the photograph. Thank you, Suraj sir. And now we have the first prize, and it's well announced, and we have Government Law College Ernakulam winning the first prize, the second time for Big Fight Season 7. They were the winners of Big Fight Season 5 too. Welcome Andy Verghese and Maithi's son onto the stage, and I request Sudha ma'am to give the prizes for the first prize winners, and all the dignitaries to please accompany them for the photograph. So that is Anne V. Verghese and Maitli S. Son from Government Law College Ernakulam, winning the first prize for Big Fight Season 7. Thank you, team. Now we have a few more certificates because we need to acknowledge the presence, time, and the value added by our judges, and we have certificates for our judges as a token of gratitude from our department. I request Jacqueline sir, the coordinator of the event, to give the certificates for our three judges. And first we have Mr. Suraj R, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, SEMS. He's also the Nodal Officer of the UA chapter at SEMS School of Engineering. Jacqueline sir, please give the award for the token of appreciation. I request Sijo sir to give the certificate and token of appreciation to Midhu ma'am. Thank you Midhu ma'am once again for being a judge in our Big Fight Season 7. And now I request Sudha ma'am to give the certificates to us. Suni Jose ma'am from CS department. Thank you all judges. We would like to have a feedback from any of the participants. Can any of the participants please come forward and share feedback so that we can improve? Negatives, positives, we are open to any comments. Yes? Yes, please.
Okay, so it's been kind of an emotional journey for us as well, because we've a small backstory to this. So the first time we came for Big Fight was 2 years back for the first season, And there it was like one random day, a classmate of us, she told there's this debate competition organized by Christ College, and she wants a team from GLC to go. So both of us, we hadn't done any debates till then. And Big Fight was actually the first debate that we ever participated in. So, and then by God's grace, we got first prize, and another trivia would be the second prize winners. Their seniors, Aditya, his name was Aditya, and the other person is Hari. So they were our finalists. So it's again kind of a deja vu for us to have, and it's again coming to a full circle because after winning Big Fight, that was a huge confidence boost for all of us. So it was after that we actually started going for debates and started debating as such. So Big Fight was something that was kind of an emotional thing for us, and now we're finalists right now. So yeah, it completely brings to a full circle. So Big Fight has been something that has been emotionally attached for me and Mike Lee. So on behalf of both of us, we'd like to, render a huge thanks and sincere gratitude to all the organizers and the students. So thank you, guys.
Do we have anyone else sharing the feedback from participants? Yes. Gladwin, being a spectator of the whole event and also being a participant, can you share some comments, please? Yes.
Thank you, ma'am, for the opportunity. I'm really happy to be part of this event because when I too was a participant 2 years back, and I also witnessed all these participants. Many of them were there 2 years back. So now today, as I come again for this day, I will feel really happy because there was a lot of change that happened at that time and now. Because I think Ashwati ma'am was the person who organized it that time. She was in charge of the organizing team. So I had given some suggestions to her because when we had faced some issues last time. And now I think after this 2 years of span, because last year I could not participate, but after 2 years, I think there was a very good change, that is a really positive change which we could see among the participants or as well as the organizing team. Everything was very well planned, and also I think the things given, the topics too, were really, I think these topics are really some hot topics which should be really discussed and also should be known. And I'm a little sad that because we had a very few audience today, because I also saw a live streaming session happening too, but we have a very few live audience here today. But after a long period of time, the presentations or also the way we organized it, it has been really excellent for me because I participated in debates many years back too, especially when in different states too. And comparing to all these, I think the way the department, the club has organized today's event was really excellent. Because I really, I would say the team, especially the way they planned it out, the way they gave the timings to it. A suggestion which I could give was the timings which was controlled. That is, when one person finished speaking, the next person speaks. And I think when the rebuttal session happens, I think it should be informed when it takes its starts. So it will be a little easier for the person to manage this whole time and make it more fruitful and also to make or to shoot good questions at that time. Overall, it was really excellent and I'm really happy to be part of it today again. And congratulations to all the winners. Thank you so much.
That was Gladwin Alapad, S5 computer science student who's also a second time participant. Thank you, Gladwin, and the feedbacks and comments taken. So I think we can conclude the event once again, thanking all the participants who made this a success. And it is so happy to know that the teams are coming back again and again to participate in Big Fight, and that makes the Big Fight team feel proud and happy about this. Okay, we have 3 or more participants who are coming back again and again, and the other participants, we are wishing to see you all in the coming years too. Okay, personal invitation will come to you sure from our coordinators team. Thank you all once again. Thanks to all the judges, our HOD Sijoso for making this happen. It was his dream and his idea of bringing Big Fight competition in the college. Thanks to Jacqueline Vincent, the coordinator of the event, Sudha ma'am. In short notice, I had called. I didn't want her to miss the final. I knew she would be interested. And thank you, Sudha ma'am, for coming on the invitation. And special thanks once again to all judges. Thanks to all the participants and my very big fight season 7 whole team. A big thanks to all the coordinators, and it's because of you the event is here. Okay, thank you all. Thank you once again. Can we all have all the participants on the stage so that we can have a final group photo before we leave? Yes, all the participants. Please come in front of the stage. Coordinators, please arrange the stage so that we can have a photo. All participants and all coordinators.
Leave it.